Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of Artificial Intelligence. This is the 7th episode of this series, and today, as always, I am joined by my alpha male host, Dr. Ben GFM, or Ben as we know him.
All right, yeah, back again. Looking forward to another excellent podcast. People enjoyed last week's, Jay. Despite the fact you had a go at me, people loved the random nature of the podcast, the unscripted mess that was artificial intelligence, but people loved it, mate.
I must say I was quite surprised by that. I was worried going into it because just briefly, for those who don't know much about me, I don't like being unprepared. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I like to make sure that I've got everything written down. I know what I'm going into. And I think part of the reason is because you're with me for this, so I know you can just do whatever you can to trip me up from time to time. So
I'm a meddler, Jay. What can I tell you? I'm a meddler. So, with that in mind, Jay wanted to take this week's a little bit more seriously. So, basically, you describe what's happening today. Go on, I'm looking forward to this description.
Well, I mean, we're going to do something quite similar to last week. It's going to be...
So, no planning again?
No planning, really. We've got quite a few questions to get through today, don't we?
Well, maybe. Just thoughts in general. Essentially, folks, what we're doing is I've gone on www.conversationstarters.com and it gives you random topics to talk about. So I'm just going to go through these and spring them on Jay. And who knows what will come out of his daft little mouth.
You know when I said I don't like planning? I said I don't like not being planned for stuff.
No, what we did plan is you were going to read a comment out from last week. Shall we do that before we begin?
All right. Okay, yeah. So this is the one part we planned, me reading a comment out.
Yeah.
To be fair, it comes from Sean Taylor, and Sean's been following me for a while. So
thanks, Sean. Thanks for getting in touch.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Sean. See, I do read comments sometimes. And he said, also, in defense of docs, right?
Oh, no.
Ben tried mocking his math skills twice, but it was Ben who made mistakes. First of all, Docs asked for sums and then gave a multiplication problem, which I do remember. Sums are addition. Secondly, he said b squared and then b tripled after squared would be cubed. Tripled would be 3b as opposed to b. I don't know what that symbol is there. B
right, well, I know a moment ago, Sean, I said, thanks for getting in touch, Sean. That was a lie. We don't comment again. Like, Jesus.
Do comment again. Don't comment again.
I wasn't doing an order. I was just talking generally about maths. And if you knew about maths, you'd know that's what I was doing. So, yeah, me plus you equals a fight, Jay. So, although you can handle yourself, although you have been beaten up a couple of times. That's
all right. I knew that was going to be your go-to part.
It was a great moment of last week's show. It was absolutely fantastic.
Before we started recording, Ben literally said, "I love last week's. I love last week so much, particularly the bit when I said that you can handle yourself." I said you said you can handle yourself, and then you've been beaten up twice.
You gave it the old. Well, I can handle myself. I've been beaten up a couple of times. It's like great. Well, that's that strikes me as vicious. Right, shall we get on with some random questions? I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know either, by the way. I'm going to hit the random button. So, boom. Oh, it's not a great start.
Go on.
It's just what's in your fridge.
Oh, well, that's a brilliant start, isn't it?
What is in your fridge?
God almighty.
Anything good?
This is going to be a great episode. I've got cottage cheese. I got some bacon medallions.
Jesus, let's skip. This is why we should.
I got some Greek yogurt.
No, I'm not. At that point, I'm not bothered. All right, what was the last thing you bought?
Last thing I bought. Let's see.
This is like Paxman.
If I'm not counting the cottage cheese and the Greek yogurt in the fridge, it would be
which we're not, by the way.
No. I guess it would be a ticket for Saturday's game. Millwall versus Oldham.
Millwall. You got recognised.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Then, gets his face on screen for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden, he's an international superstar.
I know, it's because people love me. People absolutely love me, mate. People can't believe their luck that they now get to see what I look like every week.
Lucky sausages. Was that weird meeting someone in real life?
No, not really. I mean, I always felt it was going to happen at some point. Apparently, someone recognised me a couple of years ago, but they were too afraid to go say hi, which is... I don't like that. But... I don't really mind. Like, for me...
It's because you're so intimidating.
Yeah, sure. I think for me, like, it'll be a bit dodgy if like I was drawn into a long conversation, but just someone saying hi, like I appreciate what you do and stuff. That's always nice.
Basically, what you're saying, viewers, if you do see Docklanders in public, just say hello. Don't tell him about your life. He doesn't care. Next question. This is going to be.
Wait. We didn't get to your point.
What was the question?
What was the last thing you bought?
I mean, it's probably something really mundane. It was It was a photo album that wasn't even for me. But because I've got Amazon Prime, oh, Ben, can we order some stuff on your account? It's become the new thing.
Right.
So Ellie, girlfriend, wanted me to get like a photo album for a thing she was making. So I had to order that. I mean, technically I haven't bought it, but I tell you what, it came out of my bank account. So
that's quite sweet though. You're gonna sit down and put photos in together.
No, it's not. It wasn't even. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't like that. Let's not paint this to be romantic. It was grandpa's birthday, and it was like he was 80, so it was like a look through all of his pictures from his past. I mean, it was lovely. It was a lovely book, but I mean, that was the last thing I bought because it's on the bank statement. So,
sure. Right. Okay.
See, told you we should have moved on. Right, next question. I've hit the generator. What movies have you rewatched the most number of times? I'm actually interested to know what film you've seen like more than any other. Is there a film you can watch and think, do you know what? I'll watch that again soon because it was that good.
Yeah, there's a few that are like that.
Here we go.
Shaun the Dead, definitely up there. Hot Fuzz as well.
Okay, right,
you don't like Shaun the Dead?
It's all right. It's overhyped.
Oh,
Everyone goes on about Shaun the Dead like it's the best film ever made. It's a zombie film. It's all right. Like people go on about it way too much. If it were good, ITV wouldn't show it every weekend, would they? So
sorry, they show Hot Fuzz every 2 weeks.
I mean, that's again very similar in.
Are you joking?
Like everyone raves about it, like it's the best film ever. Like it's a good film. It's a solid sort of 7.5 out of 10. But let's not pretend it's Oscar winning because it's not.
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't say Oscar winning, but
I mean it nearly was, but they read out the wrong one. Link.
Like it, reference good.
I did that in a video actually this week. Brilliant.
I can't believe you don't like Hot Fuzz or Shaun the Dead.
Oh no, no, really, slow down. Didn't say I didn't like them, but it's like when you like something and everyone raves about how good it is, and all of a sudden it makes it feel not as good as it probably was to begin with. Yeah. That happened with The Inbetweeners as well for me. That I watched The Inbetweeners before it became like a hit, and then everyone going, "Oh, it's the best thing ever," and all of a sudden I was like, "Yeah."
I must say, to be fair, I do kind of agree with that because, like you, I watched it from the start. But when the film came out, I was like, "Oh, it's just not the same." Like,
but everyone was buzzing, Jay. It was the best film ever made. No, see, this is the problem, and that's the same thing with Shaun of the Dead. When everyone goes, "Oh yeah, Shaun of the Dead, one of my favorite films," like, yeah, it's a good film, like it's enjoyable, but it's not award. It's not award winning.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, fair enough. But one of those two, I like those two quite a lot. And also Space Jam. I love Space Jam. I love Space Jam. What a film!
I mean, I'll give you that. It's a bit of a classic. So.
It's a great film. One of the things I love about Space Jam as well is I watched it in the cinema when I was so young.
Did you?
My mum and my dad took me and my brother. We were so young as kids to watch it, and I got like a toy and a Happy Meal after as well from McDonald's, which I remember. Yeah, I know that's the weirdest thing. I remember that part, but not the film. But there's things you get. But I used to watch it as a kid because I got it on video as well. And a little thing here. My mate like borrowed the VHS copy of Space Jam and didn't give it back for like 9 years because he loves the film more than I do.
I like the fact you kept tabs on that like a librarian.
Oh no,
you've had that out for 9 years, son. Yeah, I don't think I forgot.
I always wanted to borrow it back, but mysteriously, every time I went around there, the case was there, the video wasn't.
You wouldn't have been borrowing it back, you'd have just been reclaiming what was rightfully yours.
Take back what was mine. But I love Space Jam.
He convinced you it was his. That was that's how far it got. Can I borrow that? I mean, it's technically yours. Yeah, I know. Can I have it back? It's getting ridiculous. It's been 9 years.
Yeah,
you're 22, Jay. Like, really? Do you need it? But VHS aren't even a thing anymore.
Space Jam's great, though. Like, I don't know what films I would go for, but yeah, Hot Fuzz, Shaun the Dead, and definitely Space Jam. But what about yourself?
As you know, as from last week, High School Musical 3's up there.
Oh yeah,
seen that multiple times. Probably I've seen that probably 10 times in my life.
That's bizarre.
Is it?
Absolutely bizarre to say that on a podcast.
Why?
And not have a shadow of irony about it at all.
No, it's a great trilogy. It's up there with Star Wars, Toy Story. You know, some of the best ones. Oh, I mean, Star Wars technically wasn't a trilogy. Sorry, Star Wars fans. Apologies. I meant Lord of the Rings, which will probably offend you more. There's films that I went through times so I just watch over and over again. Like Hitch, the film Hitch. Like it's not an amazing film, but I would just watch that a lot of times. Coach Carter.
I love Coach Carter. Great
I just watched Coach Carter like over and over again. There's films that I've just seen multiple times just because it's easy viewing as well. Like I've watched Moneyball, the Brad Pitt film with
I've never seen that.
Jonah Hill in it. It's about Liverpool's owner John Henry eventually offering him a sort of a job, but it's about baseball and the way that you can manipulate the stats to get one of like the best teams without buying the best players, that sort of thing. The Moneyball system. People will know what I'm on about. So yeah, but I think the best films I've ever watched. I mean, The Dark Knight. I've seen that a lot, so that's probably the one. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick that. It's probably my favourite film ever, with Heath Ledger as the Joker. So I'll go The Dark Knight if I had to pick one, because I've seen that probably 20 times.
That's quite interesting, to be fair, because I would have thought you would chose something quite light-hearted, but I think that might sort of sum up her personalities quite well. For me, I like films like The Shawshank Redemption, for example.
I watched that recently.
Intrigue you. I did see you tweet about it.
Yeah, I watched that recently.
You said you hadn't seen it before, so I was quite interested to see what
I now understand why everyone says it's amazing. Because
it's a fantastic film.
It's one of the best films ever. It's in my top 5 already. Top 3,
really?
Top 5. Yeah. Brilliant film. I'm annoyed at myself for not seeing it before. Considering I studied film and media A-level. It's kind of ridiculous.
A bit embarrassing.
Right, shall we get another topic?
Yes, go ahead. Love the sound effect.
Plinky. Brilliant. Would you rather have a grapefruit-sized head or a head the size of a watermelon?
A grapefruit-sized head?
Yeah.
Or the head the size of a watermelon?
Yeah.
I think
they're big questions.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not talking about politics or religion today. We're talking about
they might come up.
What sized head we would rather have.
They might come up.
I would say I'll go with a grapefruit.
So a little head.
Yeah, a little head.
Little head on
little
your
head
shoulders.
on all the little features, the little tiny little nose and the tiny
You look like
little
a
mouth
mannequin.
and tiny little eyes.
You look like the mannequin that don't have heads. Wouldn't you? You look like one of the little mannequins that just have shoulders, just to show off jackets.
I don't know why. I think it would just be quite funny just to pop your head, just turn your collar up and stuff and just pop your head inside. Just walking around, you're like the headless man. Whereas if you've got a watermelon head, you can't hide it. You can't hide it.
Well,
you can't wear hats.
You can't hide it. Like you try to begin with. You're like, well, I bought this bowler hat. It's really not fitting properly. You just look ridiculous. Yeah. You buy hats off Amazon that says one size fits all. Yeah, sure it does. Sit there with your watermelon head. Just 1 star. You'd give that. You'd be livid, wouldn't you?
Oh man.
I feel like the watermelon head. I just feel like I'm more interesting.
It's more intimidating. Do you know what I mean?
Well, again, says a lot about us. I think the watermelon head.
Yeah.
I'd worry about I wouldn't be able to. Cars would be a problem. Travelling in general would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Constantly hit your head getting
with your big head. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't go on roller coasters. Wouldn't be enjoyable. There's just at no point. But yeah, the size of a grapefruit, people don't even realise you got a head. You get so many second looks. Whereas with a watermelon head, they'd constantly be looking.
Yeah, it's quite difficult, that one.
Yeah, right.
I'd have to go grapefruit.
Shall we get a new topic?
Yes.
They're random. What kind of? They're random. I realise that is actually just the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire theme at the end where it goes. Right, next one. I'm going to skip some if they're awful.
Yeah,
there was one there that was awful. Okay, interesting. We're just finding out about you, Jay. Really, I feel like this is what this podcast is all about. What drink do you usually order with your food? Very basic question, but a great question.
Diet Coke.
Every time?
Yes, absolutely.
Never like alcoholic.
I don't drink alcohol at all. I don't drink alcohol at all.
No, interesting.
When I used to go to the pub or to a bar with mates and that when I lived down south, every time they'd always have a pint of bitter or whatever. I always have Diet Coke.
If you've got a meal,
yeah, it's the same. I'd always have
Diet Coke.
Always Diet Coke.
Can you tell if a Coke is diet or not diet?
Yeah, I can now. I never used to be able to, but I can now.
Right, interesting.
Yeah. But,
what if they go, we ain't got Coke?
Then they normally say, we got Pepsi. Yeah, I'll do.
Oh, I'll do. Wow, I mean, stick to his morals, not. If you were a real man, Jay, you would have said, I don't want to drink then. If you haven't got Diet Coke, I'll go without. Yeah. Water will do. Tap from the tap. I've had evolution really has taught me to change my drinks based on mood.
What?
So I don't always have the same thing, obviously.
What?
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 What's up?
Say that again. Evolution has changed.
No, evolution of me.
Right.
My growing, not evolution in general. You
I was going to say what?
No, but the evolution of me. So when I was younger, I'd always gone for some sort of squash even, and then J2Os became very popular, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
So and I think as a little kid, you felt like, I'm having a J2O, it's basically a beer. So I realised the mango and passion fruit probably wasn't giving off that vibe. Now,
grown up drinking it for kids, J2O. It was the same with what was it called, WKD? Like you used to
I've never had a WKD.
I think it was a WKD. I remember there was once we were in the garage. We had like a little social do at our house, and we were in the garage. It was me, my brother, one of my mates, his brother as well. We're like a foursome in terms of mates, and we thought we were like proper adult, sitting in the garage on deck chairs, listening to something on a stereo, drinking WKD, thinking, yeah, we're part of the adults.
Oh yeah, I love this. I love this Blue album. Yeah, me too. It's great. Yeah, brilliant. I've never had a WKD, interestingly, but no. So I went with J2Os for a bit. Then it became, the standard Coke. What do you want to drink? Coke, please, Coke. More recently, I've gone for sort of the appetizer lemonade phase. And if I'm out for like a big meal or whatever, I might treat myself to a cider.
Sure.
But I don't really drink though, and I feel like if you have alcohol with a big meal, you just feel a bit hot, and I don't like being hot at a restaurant. It makes you feel uncomfortable. I
don't get alcohol. I really don't. I mean, like I see the appeal, but like I often get asked, like sometimes my brother sometimes when we go out as well, it's like, oh, get a beer. It's like, no, like what?
Does it matter what you're eating? But are you like, no matter what you're having, you're always eating it's just drinking Diet Coke, no matter what you're eating.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think to be fair, there are sometimes I'll have something like, I haven't had J2O in like 2 years, just reminded me there.
Wow.
But there might be sometimes where I'm like, I might have possibly like a glass of lemonade, but like that's just to change it up. But mainly, it's just Diet Coke. Just
I think if I'm having
Diet Coke, yeah, that'll do.
If I'm having like, so my go-to meal when I go out is like chicken or ribs or something like that. I'll always have a Coke with that. But if I'm going out for an Indian, lemonade.
That's quite interesting, though.
Yeah. Okay. Right, next one then. These are great questions. We're learning so much.
About what type of drink I enjoy. Diet Coke, always.
Yeah. Some of these questions are absolutely awful.
Unlike the what size head would you prefer? Grapefruit.
Yeah, amazing. I read that one out somehow. Somehow that got through there. That slipped through the net.
Oh dear.
Right, here we go. Okay, here we go. What is something you've never done but would like to try? So is there something you look at and think, you know what, I'd love to give that a go, but I've never tried it.
Couple of things I'm not going to mention on today's podcast.
Oh, why? Heavens above, listeners. Think about that. What that could be. Is it the High School Musical trilogy? I've looked at that and thought, you know what, I bet that's a great time. But no, I'll leave it. Yeah, believe me, Jay.
Saw it in a DVD store.
Once you go Troy, you'll never go back.
Brilliant. Is that who Zac Efron plays?
Yeah.
Yes.
Troy Bolton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think.
I mean, you should know. You've seen it about 10 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. You answer this one first, whilst I think.
Something that I've never done, but I'd like to try.
Yeah.
Ellie's sister? No.
No,
wrong. No, she doesn't listen, I don't think, so it's fine. Something I've never done, I'd like to try. I wish I was brave enough to like skydive, because people, once they've done that, you always see people go, oh, you know, that was the best for you than ever.
Yeah.
And I want to do it again, but I'm at an age now. I think when I was like 18, 19, I'd have gone, do you know what? Let's have a go. But now I think I don't want to. The risk of death there is too. It's too much. It's not worth it. It's not that 5-minute thrill ain't worth it.
Sure.
So I wouldn't mind doing that. I don't know. That's probably quite a basic answer, right? But that's probably top of the list.
Yeah.
Is there anything obvious?
I'm trying to think about this. See, adrenaline-filled stuff is good for this sort of answer because, like you, I'm a bit of a pussy. I mean,
whoa!
What?
I don't think I am.
You just said I'd like to skydive, but the thought of death is a little bit too, you know.
I don't think that's being a pussy, Jay. Generally, I think that's just not wanting to die.
Well, you won't die. Who's died from skydiving? Actually?
Oh, nobody. I don't think. I think it's flawless. I think it's probably safer than car travel. What do you mean?
No, but I mean, come on, man. Like, you know, you'd be fine.
No, that's the issue there, Jay. I don't know that I'll be fine, and that is why I don't want to do it.
Okay, all right.
Have you ever skydived?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'm not taking advice from you then, am I? I wouldn't come to you and go, oh.
It's not on my bucket list, mate. It's not on my bucket list. It's not something I need to do.
No, it's not. I haven't got a bucket list. Okay, right, question. Who the can I swear?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is making a list on a bucket?
No one.
So why is it called that then? Call it a paper list.
Yeah, but maybe, I don't know, maybe an
Why
olden
have they
times
picked a bucket? Why
I don't
is that
know.
an arbitrary object?
I don't know.
It just annoys me. Everyone's going, oh yeah, what's on your bucket list? I haven't got a bucket list. Who carries a bucket round?
Oh dear. So not skydiving, you're not going to do skydiving?
No, not skydiving.
Okay,
No.
alright, fine. I don't know, I think for me, like, travelling to like another country on my own is probably something which scares me a bit. I haven't
Scotland is a terrifying place.
I haven't been on holiday since I was 18. I'm 24 now. And it's like I want to go to a couple of places before I die. I'm not.
Where do you want to go?
Travel.
Where's
I want
one?
it. New York, definitely.
Yeah.
I really want to go to New York. I'd love to go to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil as well.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome. I'd like to go to a couple of places in Asia. I really would. I'd like to go to Tokyo. I'd like to go to Seoul. I'd like to go to Beijing, Shanghai. Because I think, like, for me, like, going to the Far East, I think, like, it's a different world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd love to experience that. And
would you be disappointed if it wasn't? Just sat at McDonald's going, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, like I like because I'm someone who like I like my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So if I was to go there, I would actually want a McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all well and good like having rice and beans and that for lunch, but like I would like a McDonald's somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Just so I know. Yeah, this is a bit like Manchester.
Have you speaking of places?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Disneyland in like any capacity?
No.
Right. So this is. I wish you had, because it would have been a lot easier to have this conversation. But anyway, I'm going to talk about this because this is mental to me. When you picture Disneyland, right? How do you picture like the going there? If that makes sense, the bit to get there. If you were going to go, have you got any desire to go to a Disneyland resort?
Not really, no. But it's brilliant. But
this is where the random generator. This was just
What do you mean? What do you mean? Say that again. What do you mean?
Okay, I'll explain
going
it.
there?
When you go to Disneyland Paris, right?
Yeah.
I've been a few times. The drive up to it is very sort of picturesque. You feel like you go into sort of a bit of an adventure. It's quite fantasy, right? It's quite exciting in that regard because there's a build up to it. It's not just suddenly you turn a corner and you're there, right? There's a bit of build up to it. If you ever look at it on Google Earth, you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
I picture the Florida one in America to be very similar, right? This is relating to what your point about Asia in a minute. Yeah. The one in California, I looked this up recently, is just in the middle of California. Like Disneyland is just slap bang in the middle of California,
right?
In Anaheim. When I say slap bang in the middle, I mean it's just surrounded by office blocks and schools and stuff.
Jesus.
Mental. The one in Asia, in Tokyo, is by the sea.
But that's
like it's like next to the sea.
That's not quite as bad.
It's amazing though. That in my eyes makes it seem bizarre though.
That seems better because for me, like I'd imagine Disneyland, like, and I don't mean this in the wrong way, so please don't take it that way. But I imagine Disneyland is like great for. I'd imagine it's great for the kids because it's like it's the sense of like wonder in the world. Like it's magic. It's actual magic because it's like you see all the characters and stuff in costume and stuff. And I mean, I've never been, but
I thought when I had the same attitude as you actually when I was like 15. My parents were like, we're going to Disneyland Paris. I'd never been before. I had no real desire to go, and I thought, great, we're going somewhere which is basically designed for kids. When I got there, I felt like a big kid. It was one of the best holidays I've ever had. Disneyland. It's great fun.
I mean, I'd imagine that would be great, but I mean, like to go to like again one next to the sea and stuff, that would be quite amazing. But I mean, if you were to go to that one in California and it's surrounded by office blocks, it's like the sense of mystery is gone. Do you know what I mean? It's sense of wonder is great. It's like for me, like I always find like I'm at my happiest when I can detach myself from reality in some way.
Right.
I like to be able to sort of live in my own fantasy in some way, and that's when I'm at my happiest. If you were to go to like the one in Tokyo or wherever, like that's great. Like, do you know what I mean? You're in that world, you're in that reality, and it's like it's all magical. If you were to go to one in California and you got office blocks everywhere, it's like you can't fully immerse yourself.
Yeah, that is strange. What I'm gonna do, Jay, just to because I feel like you need to see this to believe it.
Book me a ticket, yeah.
No, steady on, Jesus. How'd you get that? Was a jump, wasn't it? Blimey. No, I'm going to send you a picture if Geyzo works, or just type it in on Google. I got one here. Right, ready?
Well, I'll put it up on the screen. I'll put it on the screen.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so this is where the Disneyland in Tokyo is. Right, I'm going to show you this one. A live reaction. It's in our chat thing. Right. To me, that's madness.
That is good. Yeah, that's quality.
What do you mean?
That would be fantastic.
No.
The sea surrounding Disneyland.
Yeah, but that's so odd.
But don't you think that would be amazing? Like that's just like.
I mean, I do agree that it's amazing. I'm just surprised that you can fish from the top of the castle. I mean, that's what baffles me about it.
I would prefer that to the office block one in California.
No, I would. Okay, I will give you that. Right, but this is the one. This is the one in Paris. I don't know how we're getting here. Can you see that it's like in a circle?
Okay, yeah. Well, you can see where that's better. I mean, yeah.
It's like a whole like resort thing. It's odd. It's odd.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
I get your point. I
don't know how we got onto this. Let's get another topic, shall we? Right. Somehow, what would you like to do what you've never done? Just resulted in us showing the pictures of Tokyo's Disney. Random topic. Okay. Oh, this is good. Would you rather be the best player? I don't really know what this means. Would you rather be the best player on a horrible team? I think it means like poor team, right? Right. Or the worst player on a great team? Bit of a classic question, this. So which one would you rather be? Would you rather be part of the great side? Would you basically rather play for Leicester or be Steven Gerrard?
I mean, let's move on quickly from that because of what we discussed earlier. No, I would prefer to be the worst player on the best team because for me, I guess I just want to see people getting successful. Like if I'm carrying the team. And first of all, it's a dangerous combination. But if I'm like the star of the show, it's like, yeah, it's great for me, but it's like we're not getting anywhere from it. Do you know what I mean? Like we're not picking up silverware and stuff. We're not having a great time. It's just I'm looking good. Whereas if it was the other way around and we were succeeding, but I was like just a bit part player, it's like, well, you know, at the end of the day, I may not be getting any of the attention, but the teammates are winning and everyone's happy. So do you know what I mean? Right. More people are happy, even though I'm not like the star guy.
That was very Miss World answer.
What?
It was very political. It was very like, do you know, at least everyone else is having a great time. I mean,
but that's true. Wouldn't you think the same?
Well, I don't know. I think being the star of a team that aren't very good, like like Kobe Bryant was at the Lakers in sort of the latter years, right? Is that a reference that makes sense to you, Mr. NBA?
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that was basically him on it. If I've had his career previously, I reckon he was pretty happy with that, being like the star.
But we're not taking into account his previous career because he would have got to experience things.
Oh, sorry. Asterisk on this, but I've just noticed this. Funnily enough.
But I mean, like you're given two scenarios there. We're not talking about previous. All right.
I think I wouldn't want to be the worst player on a great team. I don't know if I would want to be the best player on a horrible team, like a lot more. But I think I prefer that than being like the worst player on a great team. Would I want to be Danny Simpson? Absolutely not. So,
who would?
Next topic.
Yeah.
What is the best part of your day? That's a really good question.
The best part of my day.
What's the best part of your day, Jay?
The best part of my day.
That right.
Man, I don't know, because like for me, I don't get much free time.
No. You're a busy boy. You work very. People might not realise just how hard you work on your YouTube channel and the videos you put out. It's ridiculous. In my opinion, it's too much.
Well,
you don't leave time for fun.
I hope that you're being genuine when you say that.
No. You genuinely don't. You don't leave time for fun. I mean, until you've given yourself a good 4-hour period to watch the entire catalogue of High School Musical, I don't really believe you've lived the proper life. So,
not really.
I think maybe this weekend you should watch it, and then next week we get your review on the High School Musical films.
Possibly. I haven't got around to Westworld yet, though.
No, that's true. You got to get on that.
Yeah.
So what is the best part? Let's make it more general. Do you prefer the mornings? Do you enjoy being busy in the middle of the day, or do you enjoy sort of the time just before you go to bed where everything's been done? Because I'll say now, that's my favourite bit of the day, is when I've been doing stuff all day and I give myself sort of 2 or 3 hours at the end of the day just to relax and watch. Maybe I catch up on YouTube or I watch a live stream or something, and then sort of go to bed straight after that. That's my favourite part of the day.
I can see why that would be for you. I can, and I think that most people would assume it would be the same for me as well because we do very similar stuff. But I don't. I would have to disagree because the reason being is because unlike you, I can't really switch off ever. I don't have the ability to do it. And even when, let's say,
I don't think I switch off. I turn it down. Well, I'm always thinking about doing YouTube stuff. I'm always plugged in.
Yeah.
To what's happening on social media or what's happening on like my YouTube channel, but I do turn it down a little bit for a few hours every day.
But that's why I struggle, because
I think you should. This is getting this is what you should do. I think you should turn the dial a little bit in the other direction and give yourself a little bit of time to chill out.
Sure. I mean, maybe I should, but
you should.
I mean, like, but I must say what I do like as well. I know that you don't go to the gym anymore, but I love.
God, that was a sly dig. What have you? Jesus.
No. It was just because I don't know whether you were the same, because I know you used to be quite athletic in your youth.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you were the same, but when you go to the gym and you lift weights and you get something called the pump, it's like a trigger in you. I love having a similar feeling to that when I'm working so hard on something and I'm just zoned in. Like I can tap in to like an inner part of me when I'm focused on something.
I used to get that when I used to
outside
run.
the world.
Yeah,
really.
I used to get that when I was running. I used to.
But it's a surreal feeling, because I don't think many people actually experience it on
you
a
forget
day-to-day
what
basis like I do.
Yeah, I don't know for some of you, but you'd almost forget what you're actually doing.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, I will go like 4 or 5 hours focused in on something. It's like I forgot to genuinely sit down and have lunch. Like I forgot. I'm too focused on something.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling. And again, I don't know how many people out there have experienced it like I do, like almost every day. But it's when you're just at your computer and you're working on something, you're editing something, and you look at the clock and it's like midday. And then you just edit, and then you look at the clock again. It's like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's crazy how often that happens.
It's unbelievable. It's a wonderful feeling, because you just know that you're that focused on something positive, and I love that feeling. And as much as I don't like having much free time, and as much as I don't like getting not that much money, one of the benefits about this job is that when I've worked so hard on something, no one can criticize me for that. I know what I've just been up to, and it's an amazing feeling to be that focused and locked in.
Yeah. I think people, we might have spoken about this on a previous podcast, but people forget how we're kind of bigging ourselves up a little bit here, but doing YouTube is a very sort of self-motivational thing to do. Like you're essentially your own boss. You're not working for anyone. If you're going to put time into something, it's because you really want to. And I think that sort of plays into what you're saying there, that when you get in the groove of doing something for so long and time just disappears, it's very satisfying and very rewarding afterwards, especially when you can be lucky enough to have an audience to watch and respond to that as well. I think that's
no doubt.
That's really cool.
That's one of the best parts about being YouTube, just the fan engagement when you work so hard on something and they actually enjoy it just as much as you enjoy producing.
I will say when they say I didn't really like this, just don't tell me. Honestly, prefer not to know. I love feedback when it's positive. Right, let's go to the next question.
Go on.
That was a good question, but we won't go for that one. Oh, this could be the last one we have here. This is huge as a question. Sure. This is a risky thing to talk about on the internet in general.
Can we include the audience in this as well? Like, can we get their feedback as well?
That would be risky.
All right, we'll move on to a more lighthearted one for that one then.
All right, well, the question we could have had was, do you believe in an afterlife? Was the question.
Yeah.
I think look, listeners and viewers, if you want that next week, maybe we'll talk about that in more depth next week, because we have very different opinions on this.
I don't think it's that we have different opinions. It's just that
the way in which we convey those opinions is very different.
Okay, all right.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Let's. Now he's nervous. Right. Next topic. Let's see. I'm going through. So some of them are really honestly, some of them are awful. They've all got areas. When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Brilliant.
Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, hello. If you knew that you only had a year left to live, what would you do? We'll wrap it up with this question. With a year left, what is the first thing or last thing you'd do? I think you have to be positive about it as well. You can't be. You shouldn't go into this with a negative outlook, although it would be very easy to.
I mean, that's quite a difficult question to answer. I mean, that's.
Are there things that you would say? Money was no. I think we always have to say that money was no object, but you have to be reasonable in that you're not going to worry about it. You've got a year left. We sort of went on the bucket list trail earlier on. Are there things that you think, do you know what? I've never done this, and I'd love to give it a go, and I'm going to regret things. And it's hard to regret things if you know you're not going to live, isn't it? This sort of plays into the afterlife question a little bit. But are there things that you would go for and think, do you know what? I really want to give this a go, and I'm going to regret not doing it?
We answered quite something quite similar to that earlier, wasn't there? When you said about skydiving.
Yeah,
I mean,
but this is more this is a lot more final though. Yeah. I could skydive in the next sort of 30 years if I really wanted to, and that's always open to me as an option. But this is where your options become more limited because you've only got a year. And a year like a year is a long time. Obviously not in the context of an entire life, but a year is still a long time. There's still a lot you can do in a year. Is there something you think that I'm gonna give that a go?
I think you'll have to answer this one first because I can't.
Okay, I'll let you think about it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day actually, and it's something I experimented with once and wrote things for once and did a little bit, but never really followed through with. But I would want to try stand-up comedy, and just to see if I could do it and if I could be good at it. And I don't think it's something I could just suddenly do and be really good at. It's something I'd have to spend a few months probably of the year trying to do. But I would love to perform in front of sort of 500,000 people, something like a big audience. I think that'd be cool. Something I've always wanted to do, and I needed, like when I was younger, I thought, you know what, it's something I will do one day. I just don't know when that time will be. And I still feel a bit like that now. That I wouldn't be that good at it now, but I feel like in 10 years maybe I would be. And I thought that at sort of 20 years of age as well. I thought, you know what, maybe in 10 years I can give that a go. And now at 25, I'm thinking, or 26, I'm thinking, in 10 years maybe I can give that a go. So it's always something I think about in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
But
I think you'd be quite good at it.
Quite good at it. I mean, it's definitely I'll bother then.
Well, isn't that what you wanted? Good. That's what you wanted to hear, wasn't it?
Quite good.
Yeah.
I think you'll bloody smash it, Ben. That's what I wanted to hear. Not, you'll be quite good at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If I got a proposition from an attractive lady and she went, I think we should have sex, I think you'd be quite good at it. Quite good. I mean, move on to the next guy. Honestly, quite good. Showstopper. That's what I was hoping she'd say.
I didn't want to raise your expectations unrealistically.
Jesus! Now you've put me down. I wish I brought this up. What do you want to do if you've got a year left to live? I wouldn't do anything, Jay, if I were you. I don't know.
Oh, dear.
I'd wallow.
Can you imagine telling someone like not to try something if they had a year to live? Like, I know you want to do stand-up comedy, but nah, don't go into it, mate. Don't go into it. But I've only got a year to live, though, Jay. Nah, I wouldn't recommend it. Try something different.
Pretty much what you just did, right?
Oh, that would be so horrible.
Joke about it, but you've just crushed my hopes and dreams.
No, I did not crush your hopes and dreams.
It's fine. I'm not going to bother now. I'm going to skydive. Might as well take the risk after what you've just said. Yeah.
I think you should skydive.
Oh, should you now? So really, you've pushed me towards the death option again. Either way, Jay wants me gone. That's what
I think you'd be quite good at skydiving.
If anyone would like to become a co-host on the podcast, there will be a slot available next week. Jesus Christ.
Oh, dear.
This is the first time someone's been killed off in a podcast. Unbelievable.
Oh,
year left. What are you doing? Come on. What haven't you done which you think, do you know what? It's about time I do this. Because I'm never going to get another chance. And that thing is...
I mean, there are a couple of things I wouldn't mention on the podcast, but it's quite difficult because, like, it's hard. Like, there are very little things. And this is just one way to sort of sum up me. Like, there are very little things I actually want in life. Like, very little things. Like snails
and bugs and that.
Brilliant. No, I mean, I
thought you said there's very little things I want in life. Like, what very little things do you want?
No, I mean, what I mean is, okay, there's very few things I want in life. Better. Grammar, well done. Is that grammar?
I was like, well, it was maths last week. We moved on to English.
Where's Sean? I need him to back me up again.
Don't you dare.
No, I mean, there's very few things I actually really want in my life. Like, you know, and I've said this like a couple of times on my channel. Like, you know, there are people that are like, I want to go swimming with dolphins in Australia before I'm 30. You know what I mean? I want to go to every continent. You know what I mean? It's like,
I'd sort out the voice first before dolphins came along. I'd sort out that voice.
I don't care. I actually don't care. Like, I live in a box essentially, and it's like I'm actually content in my current surroundings. But it's like I just the few things that I want like aren't really realistically achievable in a year, if that makes sense. I don't really feel like a year would be enough time to sort of achieve those very few things. I think that for me, I would just be content just carrying on as normal and treating things as normal, not necessarily trying to avoid thinking about the inevitable, because, you know, it'll be at the forefront of my mind. If you knew you had a year to live, every day you'd be thinking about it. I'll change
the question a little bit. If you knew you had a year to live, would you tell people that you knew that?
I don't think I would.
Isn't that an interesting moral dilemma?
I mean, I think, yeah, because I see it from both sides. But I personally don't think I would.
So I don't think I would either. If I found out, I don't think I'd tell anybody.
No.
But maybe I'd plan for it, though. In that I could leave like messages and things which could be quite nice. But I wouldn't tell anybody. I don't think it'd be worth, because I feel like people would treat me differently.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's not that I'd be like, I don't want people to worry about me. It's just I don't want people to treat me differently just because I'm dying.
I think that is a fear for a lot of people.
Because I think at the end of the day, that would sort of like, I don't know what the best word is to say here, but like, I think that would be a bit sort of like fake. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to, if I had a year to live, I'd want to experience it like I'd lived the rest of my years. Like, life is still the same. Because otherwise, it's just going to be fake. Like, people will just melancholy and trying to treat me nice and stuff, pushing me around the subject. No, just be genuine, because otherwise it's going to ruin my year. Do you know what I mean? Like, just worrying about other people, worrying about me.
Right.
So, yeah.
There's one more question. I clicked the next question just to see what it would be.
Okay.
Right. And the question is, describe yourself in one sentence.
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
Here we go.
Maybe we should describe each other.
Okay.
Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell. Okay. I'm just trying to think if I should swear.
Dear.
Now, okay, so I'll let you think about it. There might be some commas in this.
Okay.
I'll describe you in one sentence.
Right.
I don't want to offend you, though. That's the problem. I don't want
let's be honest.
I want the listeners to get a true version of you, but I don't want you to be offended.
Ben, we're 7 episodes in now. You've said enough stuff about me. I think that I can handle it now. I've known you for a year and a half. I think I can handle what's coming here.
Okay. Right. You all heard that. You all heard that. I'm going to say that you are an anxious hard worker who's yet to find out who they really are.
Okay. I mean, a bit emotionally devastating. But
was that fair, though? Emotionally devastated? I've been told you want me to skydive because there's a chance of death.
Not because of the chance of death.
Well,
I think you'd enjoy it.
The way you described it didn't make it sound like it was a loving gesture.
Right.
Your go. I'm almost ready for this. Might be cut out. Go on.
Okay. Describe you in one sentence.
Yeah. Without using the words alpha or male.
Oh, damn it. It's just it. The alpha male. Alpha male of life.
I thought about yours.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think it's quite difficult because, again, it's like it's parts. There's certain parts I would say if I was being honest and genuine, but there's certain parts I would leave out because you're my friend.
I don't know what that means, but I'm scared now.
Trying to get you on the back foot. No, I think for you, it's like I would say that you are. I think the best way of describing you is like.
See, this is awkward because you know more about me than a lot of the internet.
I know, and it's quite difficult because like I don't want to give too much away from what I know about you.
I mean, cut it out if it's too much.
All right, I'll redo it. I'll just ask you to like record a sample. That was a great description.
He's a great guy. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for that.
Yeah. No, I think you're assured. I think that's probably one of the best ways to put it. Assured. It's all the positive things, really. You're assured. You're confident.
This is more of a bucket list than a sentence.
Assured, confident, and I think I would say deserving of success more than if that makes sense. I think you deserve a bit better than you sort of currently allow yourself to receive. I think that for me, from what I know about you, is like oftentimes you'll sort of think, oh, well, this is just how it is, when in reality you should be like, no, this is absolute bullshit. I don't really swear that much, but like it's absolute bullshit. This shouldn't be happening. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because I think one of the things that is quite interesting is like, for me, I've moved out doing what I do. You're yet to do that as things stand right now, although that could obviously change in the near future.
Yeah.
I think that you should be sitting there thinking that's absolute rubbish that I haven't been given that opportunity yet. Like I deserve better than what I've had in life in 26 years.
Maybe.
I think you accept.
I think there's a lot you said there that for most people that know me or watch my stuff, they'll think, what on earth is he on about?
But that's because they don't know you.
I know,
like
but then the people that know me, they probably think they might. I don't know. They might agree. I don't know. It's weird.
I think you just accept mediocrity a bit too much. I think you just think to yourself, oh well, that's just how it is. But I think that like for you don't really give yourself enough credit in the sense that when you said earlier that I was hard working, and I was someone that does work harder than most people think. Like, you don't really think yourself in the same bracket. And maybe you're not quite at my level yet in that regard, but you certainly put in a lot more than you lead people to believe.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Do you know what I mean? Like there are some days where it's, I don't know, I just feel like I don't think you really sort of give yourself as much justification for what you do as you should, really. And I don't think you really understand that in life, like you've talked about certain things that I wouldn't discuss on this podcast, but like there's been sort of negative instances in your life that have happened just through sheer bad luck and just circumstances out of your immediate control. Yeah. And you haven't really raged against it. You just thought, well, that's just how it is. It's like you're a happy-go-lucky type of person. I
think I became that. There's maybe a different conversation we can have here one day. But yeah, there's yeah. All right, that was quite good.
Hit random on one more question, and then we'll ask the audience what their answer is.
What? This is just for the audience, is it?
It's just for the audience, yeah.
Okay.
This is the audience question.
We
can't. Do you know what I was going to say? We could have asked the audience to describe us as well, because I think they'd have totally different descriptions.
Maybe we could do that. That's maybe better.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that.
No, me neither. Thinking about it actually. let's move on from that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Some of these questions are quite deep, so I don't want to.
I want a light-hearted one. For
okay. The question is, it literally just came up, right? Which is bizarre considering what we just talked about. The question was, have you been in any YouTube videos?
Okay.
Now, of course, if you're a creator, that's slightly different. Of course, you probably have. But if you're just a viewer, have you ever been in a YouTube video? If so, what video were you in? And if not, whose video would you like to be in?
That's a good one.
So that was good. Right then, I think that brings us to the end. So if you want to wrap this up, this has been a bit of a longer show than normal. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, this was quite interesting. I must say I enjoyed this despite it not being planned.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know. I think. Do you know what? What I'll say to the audience now is, if you want us to continue doing them sort of unscripted and just no planning whatsoever, as scary as it makes me feel, I think that we could possibly take the show in that direction as opposed to just doing it structured and scripted.
Yeah, I think people should drop a like if that's the sort of thing you want to see more. That's literally, as a creator, that's the best thing to like get back. Is if you're enjoying the content for what it is, drop a like, and then we'll know to do more of that thing. So. Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, it was a fun show. I've enjoyed it. Thank you as ever, Ben, for coming.
Pleasure. YouTube.com/DrBenjiFM. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Link in the description.
You just had to add that bit in the end again, didn't you?
Well, you didn't put me in the description last week, so.
No, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. I know. Yeah, exactly. Saying I didn't put you in the description. Of course I did.
Didn't think you did, viewers. Please didn't happen.
I did. So thank you very much for listening, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. One final point just before I leave. Someone did comment last week and said, will these go on iTunes at some point? I don't know is the answer to that question. Maybe one day, but for the time being, we've got no immediate plans. But what I might do, if there's enough demand for it, I might start uploading the files to like a media hosting, file hosting site, so you can download and listen when you're out and about and stuff. Haven't decided yet. If there's enough interest, then again, I'll certainly consider it, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, okay. So thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, everyone. Hope you had a great week as well. Much love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you for the next episode of Artificial Intelligence next Friday.
We'll love with care if we're not to mention until next time. Goodbye.